songwriter, an even better storyteller, and a world-class liar.
Somebody's got to do it.
Colin,
One
whatever
of
you,
those is a lie.
whatever you'd like to start with, we'd love to hear.
Cool. Well, we were talking about Flannery O'Connor and the Southern Gothic, so I figure I'll play you a song off the last album. And I was telling folks as I was as I was touring on this album, it's like, as I was reading Flannery O'Connor, one of the things that made me connect with her is I realized I was related to a lot of her characters, or I'd worked with a lot of her characters, and or I'd been a couple of them. This came into sharp relief last Thanksgiving when I was down east, and my Aunt Jeannie was in town from New Mexico, and she said, "We need to go up to the Waffle House." My Uncle Eddie said, "I'm sure there's some great local cafes around here." And she said, "No, Eddie, we're going to the Waffle House." And as we're piling into the car, her and me and Uncle Eddie and my Uncle Chris and Carolyn, she says, "By the way, did y'all hear about that fella down in Morehead City who killed his grandma, burned the house down, ran up here to Vanceboro, stabbed a cop in the Bojangles, and is still on the run?" And I said, "No, but that's literally the beginning to, a good man is hard to find, and we're not coming back from that Waffle House alive." Thankfully, we survived, but this song is based off A Good Man is Hard to Find. It's called Bad Man's Easy. Where there ain't no joy in it, Bobby Lee, I said as we drove down Highway 1, that tiger tattoo on his arm had grinned as he tightened his grip on the butt of his gun. Well, we might make it to the Carolina line, but a bad man is easy to find. Have I ever told you how I feel when I hear those sirens wail, like a pack of dogs nipping at my heels, even if I know that they aren't on my trail? Well, a good man is hard to find, and a bad man's easy. Was it love? Was it fear in her eyes? It was something that I'd never seen before. It was like she saw me and she recognized me, and I must have jerked it back when I shot her, 'cause a good man is hard to find and a bad man's easy. It might be the devil, might be God, it might be both. Might be grace, might be the law, but I don't know. But a good man is hard to find. Said a good man is hard to find. Yes, a good man is hard to find. Oh, a good man is hard to find. Good man is hard to find, and a bad man's easy. Said a bad man's easy. Oh, a bad man's easy. Yes, a bad man's easy.
Colin Cutler, live here on Pass the Hat.
Well, thank you, and it's great to see you guys again too.
What have you been up to?
Whew. Well, it's been 2 years since I've been up here?
Has it really? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Too long.
Going hither and thither upon the earth,
So how's the songwriting going for you over the last couple of years?
It's been going well. I haven't been writing a whole lot over the last couple of years. I've been just out traveling and performing. I am working on 2 more albums right now. One of them has some older songs on it, and then sort of working up some new ones for it too. But that will be the second of the 2 projects that I'm working on. The other one that I'm hoping to finish recording sometime this summer is it's got 1 original on it, and then it's got a bunch of traditional folk tunes and also some regional covers.
Nice.
Yeah, of some folks from around the central North Carolina, up to Virginia area, who've been influences and heroes of mine, and get to share some of their songs. So yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm just changing the mic.
A little more straight on.
Yeah.
So, Colin, some of these are recorded already, or where are we in the process of this first record?
There are a couple that are. There's one that's recorded and pretty much done. We just need to finish mixing and mastering it. The rest of them, we've got some roughs down, but going to probably finish up those recordings this summer.
And where are you working on this?
Over at Earth Tones Recording Studio.
Nice.
Yep. So got Sean Hickman down there for one of the songs, and the rest of it's going to be pretty much straight acoustic. We're either going to finish it there or with Mark Dillon. So
Nice.
yeah.
So
Good
we're-
choices to have.
Yeah. So we're thinking late summer, maybe.
Well, I think the actual release will probably be in the fall,
Yeah.
unless it pushes too late into the fall, in which case first thing in the spring.
We'll be looking for that. But
Cool.
everybody, we're mainly looking for some more music from Colin Cutler right now.
Yeah. Well, how about I do one of those regional covers now?
Excellent.
Cool. So
Perfect.
Mike Gaffney was a good friend and hero of mine. I like to say he was kind of like the granddaddy songwriter for me, because I had a granddaddy too, and he was, he was like, well, what's your plan for retirement? Right? Very supportive, very loving in his own way. But, Mike is one of those fellows who got me and got what I was doing and was doing it himself and had a lot of good wisdom. And this here's a song of his called Tell Mama Goodbye. Just a young cowboy, barely 20, just a heap of broken bones, laid up neath the cottonwood tree in the place where he was thrown. The other cowboys gathered round him, they did what they could do. Shoo the flies, keep the sun off his eyes, and say a kind word or two. He said, boys, I need a blanket, 'cause my legs are getting cold. And the way you talk, I believe this fall is gonna keep me from getting old. When you find my horse in the saddlebags, there's a Bible underneath the gun. Got it marked, it'll ease my heart if you read Psalm 121. And I'm going to heaven, won't you tell my mama goodbye? Tell her I'm in a hurry, gonna see her by and by. I ain't ever been past Abilene, but now I'm gonna fly. I'm going to heaven, won't you tell my mama goodbye? I'm going to go and take another harmonica solo while I think of the next line. God made cows and cowboys, and God made rattlesnakes. He made them free and equal, so they can make their own mistakes. When you get me home, won't you sing a song? Lay my body out on the porch. Don't blame God, and don't you blame the snakes, boys, and please don't blame my horse. 'Cause I'm going to heaven, won't you tell my mama goodbye? Tell her I'm in a hurry, gonna see her by and by. I ain't ever been past Abilene, now I'm gonna fly. I'm gone to heaven. Won't you tell my mama goodbye?
More Colin Cutler live here on Pass the Hat playing a cover of a Mike Gaffney song. Colin, do you have any Mike Gaffney stories you want to share? Maybe when you met Mike for the first time?
Whew, yes, very first time I met Mike, I was at a little spot in Jamestown, North Carolina called the Turntable, which is it was all original. It was an open mic, but all originals was kind of the rules. That's where I met a lot of my songwriting friends at the time. Would have been 2014. And I was playing Before They Hang Me on the banjo, the first song I'd ever written for banjo. And he walks by with Carol and says, "Is that an old folk tune?" I said, "No, that one's mine." He says, "Well, that's the oldest sounding new song I've ever heard."
That's quite a compliment.
It was quite a compliment from him, yeah. And we became good friends after that. When I was overseas, every time I'd come back, I'd always stop into his house and my granddaddy's house down in Vanceboro. And one of the last pieces of advice I asked for him, I asked him, I was like, any advice for me as a future songwriter? And he said, "Well, always wear sunglasses when you're driving. Otherwise, you're just going to get wrinkles around your eyes." So,
That does sound like Mike.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing that way. Full of wisdom and just so very low-key and approachable, but always when I bumped into him, he seemed to be just naturally holding court. Mm-hmm. It was just a wonderful experience being around Mike Gaffney. Just so open and friendly and happy to tell a story at any point.
Yes, and holding court on his front porch was one of the best places to do it.
Right.
So,
Well, we're here live with Colin Cutler talking music. Colin, we themed our playlist. We have a themed playlist every Friday in the lead up to our live guests. So this week our theme was Southern Gothic, which we kind of defined kind of broadly.
yeah.
We figured you're an expert and you might be actually able to tell us what it means, what Southern Gothic is. What are the common themes? How do we know if something we're hearing or reading or seeing kind of fits a Southern Gothic genre?
Yeah, so one of the problems, I guess, of being in the academic world of it is that you're aware of all the different definitions of it, and that nobody actually quite agrees on it. But generally, one, it tends to be very regional, right, and focused on the southern part, the southeastern United States for the most part. So that's sort of the regional aspect of it. And the Gothic kind of comes from that, sort of early Victorian genre of dealing with the uncanny, right? Mm-hmm. So the very familiar things, but making them unfamiliar, or the supernatural, right? And the supernatural was approached in very different ways, by folks like Faulkner, O'Connor, Welty, McCullers even. But a lot of them don't necessarily deal with the supernatural directly, but there is kind of that, what is kind of this presence behind the material world that the characters are in that's always sort of like bursting through or pressing in on them too. And I think Southern Gothic in a lot of ways, again, thinking especially about O'Connor and Faulkner especially, it's less kind of a divine presence as sort of the lost cause mythology, right, is always pressing down.
There's always some of that.
Right, yeah, a lot of that. So, yeah, I think that's a good starting definition at least. And I think those authors are good examples of the Southern Gothic as well.
All right, so because of the regional aspect, a distraught minister murders a woman at Waffle House, Southern Gothic.
Yes.
A distraught minister murders a woman at Tim Hortons, not Southern Gothic.
That's correct, yes.
It's just making sure.
Right. Yeah, Tim Hortons hasn't made it this far down. That's all right.
Yeah,
Everybody, you
we'll
have
live with
your
that.
summer reading list, I think, thanks to Colin Cutler.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. With this last album, I sent it over to DJ. I've known for ages. She was actually one of the first people to get me on the radio over at QFS. And my guitarist lives right next to her. And he said one day I went out and I was taking the trash out. I look over at the DJ's trash, and the Complete Stories of Flannery O'Connor was sitting out there. So she'd given it a fair shot. It was not to her taste, and that's all right. So
Everybody, you can recycle your books
You
after
can.
you've in a lot of libraries
Yeah.
would be happy to have them.
Yeah.
or pass them around. You don't need to end up in the trash dump.
Sometimes you just think this novel is trash, and I'm throwing it out.
You
At
could,
least-
you could
at least-
compost it even.
This
Or
is
at
true.
least put it in the recycle, not in the trash.
Depending on when they printed the book, there could be lead in the ink if it
That's
was
true. That's
printed
true.
in the 50s or 60s. Yeah. Well, we are here enjoying a discussion with Colin Cutler, but we're really here to hear Colin Cutler's music.
And we got something there, Bob. It's not a guitar.
That looks very much like a banjo.
It is a banjo.
We didn't tell anybody the rules about no banjos in the studio, so I guess we're just going to have to go with it.
Well, that one has possum skin, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Funny story about that. If we want to hear a funny story about possum
We
skins,
always
yeah.
do.
So I was playing up in Tennessee, Cookeville, Tennessee, a little bit east of Nashville, and the other guy on the bill showed up with a big old possum skin, like dried possum skin, with his merch.
Really?
He wasn't selling the possum skin. It was just like the decoration for his merch. I said, "Hey, that's a good-looking possum skin." He said, "Yeah, bought it at a flea market for $70." And was talking to a friend of mine who gets them and tans them, and he said, "Yeah, I saw those for like 25, 30." I was like, "Yeah, so you did not get the right deal." And he said, "No." I said, "Well, I've got a squirrel skin, but I got it for free from an old Army buddy. Like, he kept the one." He said, "That's Cody, and you can have Carl." So I got mine for free. So it's not a possum, it's a squirrel, but
A little bit smaller.
yeah. So this song here is called "Run to the River," and it started off as this whole meditation on God and mortality and all that good stuff, and because grown up Pentecostal and all that, and then a pig showed up. My girlfriend is now a flower farmer, but at the time I wrote this, she was working at Pine Trough Branch Farm up in Reedsville, and they had this pig up there named El Chapo for two reasons. One, he was destined to become a pork chop, and two, he was a bit of an escape artist. And so one day she's up there farm sitting, asks me if I can come help. And I said, sure. So we're walking out there with a feed bucket, and El Chapo's in a pen. And by a pen, I mean like one electric wire, run around a bunch of trees. He's in there with 3 or 4 sows. And he hears us coming, sort of looks at us, looks at the wire, looks at the sows, pushes one of the sows into the wire. She starts squalling. He climbs up over her and starts coming at us. And let me tell you, when there's a 500-pound animal coming at you hungry, it fits in right well with that theme of God and mortality. So this here's Run to the River. That river is wide, that river is deep. It's got a long way to run before it rolls into the sea. I hear paradise is far away, so I'll follow its call down to the river to pray. But is it wide, is it deep enough to wash my sins away? I don't know, but I still go to the river to pray. The city lights imitate the stars and drown them in the void behind the neon signs and bars. My faithful feet, they never stray, but led me down to join them, down to the river to pray. But is it wide, is it deep enough to wash my sins away? I don't know, but I still go to the river to pray. Stopped by a farm where I'd had kin. There weren't nothing there but a top paper shack and a pig in the pen. That pig got out, chased me down the lane, and I ran, yes I ran, down to the river to pray. But is it wide, is it deep enough to wash my sins away? I don't know, but I still go to the river to pray. That river is wide, that river is deep. It's got a long way to run before it rolls into the sea. I hear paradise is far away, so I'll follow its call down to the river to pray. But is it wide? Is it deep enough to wash my sins away? I don't know, but I still go to the river to pray.
Excellent.
Well, thank you.
Love that song.
And with all thanks to El Chapo.
So what? So was he snorting as he was running, or?
He was snorting a little bit, but
Yeah.
he was just kind of trundling. Like after we got over the initial shock of, oh, he's out the pen, he's coming at us, just sort of shook the feed bucket in front of him from the one side, sort of whipped at him a little bit from the other side, and he wandered back. So it's
But that's some strategy, Bob. Throwing your woman into the
Right?
electric wire.
Let's all take note of that.
Yep, he actually met a premature end. He ended up baking a little bit sooner than planned because he was supposed to be, actually doing his job as a boar, which he wasn't doing. So I think he just didn't think too much of the lady pigs at all. So,
Sorry, buddy, you're baking now.
yep.
Well, that's fine.
That is reminiscent of the recent crime spree in Hillsborough. The pig statue in front of Steve's Market got swiped, stolen.
Was that recent? I saw the post, and I didn't see when that happened.
It seems to me as it's not entirely coincidental that this happened just after Steve's stopped being a butcher shop and started being more of just a food and sandwich shop, and leaning a little bit less towards the meat and more towards other vegetarian options too.
Well, pigs are vegetarian.
Right?
That's not true. They're omnivores. They'll eat anything.
They'll eat anything.
So, Colin, you're pretty good on that banjo. Was guitar your first instrument, or banjo, or something else?
Piano.
Yeah.
And then I played trumpet from 9 to 16.
Yeah.
Which I
As did I.
Yep. And I told a friend about that later, and she said, well, it tracks that you're playing banjo, two loud, obnoxious instruments, right?
Kim would agree.
Right. And then I picked up guitar when I was 16, and then electric guitar shortly after that because I wanted to be a metalhead.
Of course.
Second Eddie Van Halen. Was not that. And I got to college, nobody else wanted to play 80s power metal. So picked up banjo, I think, when I was about 14 years ago now. So in my early
okay.
20s,
So you've been at it for a while. So I don't know anything about a banjo. Is the fingering all different? I was sort of watching your hand, and
So it depends on what tuning you're in. So I'm in double C tuning. That's very different from guitar.
but so that's open. I mean, you have an open chord if you.
Fairly, yeah. So that right there, you've only got one finger down for your C.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Open G. You can be all open, and that's your G chord. That's very similar to like the bottom four strings of the guitar.
Okay.
But then, of course, you've got your high string up top. That's your drone, and yeah.
Well, there's more to a banjo than meets the eye, Bob.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's multidimensional.
That's right. That's right. You just got to retune it between every other song. That's all.
Yeah, and I've seen or heard amazing sounds coming out of banjos.
Oh yeah.
It's not just hillbillies sitting on a bridge
Right.
waiting for you to go by under your canoe so they can chase you down and murder you later.
Right.
I've heard some wonderful jazz stuff like Bella Fleck,
yeah,
and
Bella
I've seen
Fleck, yeah.
people bowing them. It's just madness.
Oh
You
yeah.
should hear one with a wah-wah pedal. Awesome. Your
Well,
life will be changed.
I have heard them with slides too, and it's a great slide instrument.
So that would be if they're in an open tuning. They would be
Yeah, that's right.
sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done one song on a slide before, and played in front of an much older folkie, and he said, "I've never seen that before." I said,
All right.
"Cool, well, I got to introduce you to it." So, yeah, that's not a very common thing. So,
Well, Colin, we're about to reach the top of the hour, but perfect time for one more song, if
Okay.
you'd be so kind.
cool. How about an old folk tune?
All right.
All right. This will also be on the next album. It's one I learned when I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. And it wasn't until about 2 or 3 years ago I said I should probably learn this one on the banjo. So. When John Henry was a little baby, sitting on his daddy's knee, well, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel, said, this hammer's gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord. This hammer's gonna be the death of me. Well, the captain said to John Henry, gonna bring that steam drill round. Gonna bring that steam drill out on the job. Gonna whoop that steel on down, Lord, Lord. Gonna whoop that steel on down. And John Henry said to his captain, said, a man ain't nothing but a man. But before I let that old steam drill beat me down, gonna die with this hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Gonna die with this hammer in my hand. And the man who invented that steam drill, he thought it was mighty fine. But John Henry drove his 15 feet. That steam drill, it only drove 9, Lord, Lord. Yes, that steam drill, it only drove 9. And the captain said to the people standing around, I fear that the mountain's caving in. But John Henry spoke from the mountain very hard. It ain't nothing but my hammer sucking wind, Lord, Lord. It ain't nothing but my hammer sucking wind. Well, they pulled John Henry from the mountain, they buried him in the sand. Now every locomotive that goes roaring by says, down the lies a steel driving man, Lord, Lord. Down the lies a steel driving man. Down the lies a steel driving man, Lord, Lord. Down the lies a steel driving man.
Colin Cutler, live here on Pass the Hat, winding up this first half hour of the live segment in style. Hey, Colin, before we have to do some business, I'm going to jump over and do some slightly different business because we are in the midst of our spring fundathon here on WHUP. So, Colin, I'm going to put you on the spot. You've been here on the show a couple of times. What does WHUP mean to you, and why should people support it in your eyes?
Yeah. So WHUP, first I'll step back a little bit further even and say the very first radio station to have me on was a local college radio station, WKFS over in Greensboro. Mm-hmm. And shortly after that was WHUP and WUAG and folks like that. And the community radio stations, I feel like, fill a sort of a step on the pathway, for musicians and especially independent musicians that – we look at like the big radio stations out there, and they're all getting stuff from record labels and stuff that none of us are on, so what y'all do is a service both to us musicians and also to your local communities too, and getting these local artists out who may or may not be touring further on, may not want to tour, further out, but just sort of getting the word out about them. Also being able to give expert advice on when to plant tomatoes right here in Hillsboro, like with Kirk here too. And there's just that local touch to it, and these friendships and relationships that we've been able to build over the last few years that you don't get at the other places. So.
I think that's a very key point, is what community radio brings to the community is that it is part of the community.
Yep.
It is hyper-local, and we here at WHUP, we have lots of live local music and regional music, but also a full gamut of other stuff, from the hyperlocal news to community interest to talk, various forms of music, poetry, all kinds of amazing programming here. And we do it all with volunteers.
Yep.
Over 100 volunteers make this radio station work. Volunteer Linux programmers built this station from scratch. That's how it runs. And we're in our spring fundathon. We could use your help, obviously, to keep the lights on, keep the FCC happy, keep our landlords happy. If you would go to WHUPFM.org and click on that donate button, it would make us happy.
Everybody, we have reached the top of the hour, and we are WHUP LP Hillsboro. The show is Pass the Hat. We are here every Friday from 6 to 8 o'clock, and the highlight of our show is 6:30 to 7:30.
Yes, it is.
With our live music guest, and we're joined this evening by Colin Cutler, enjoying this tremendously. We had mentioned our first hour sponsor, but Bob, we are fortunate to have an hour two sponsor.
That's right. Support for this second hour. Hey, Colin, reach a little bit farther over to your right to the cardboard box.
Into the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
What's that, Bob?
Support for this second hour of Pass the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it,
We all have chocolate needs.
Every guest on Pass the Hat gets a gift of chocolate from Matthew. We don't know what's in the box, but we can guarantee that it is delicious.
You know what goes good with chocolate, Bob? Colin, tell us what goes good with chocolate.
Some kind of a beverage.
I feel like muscadine wine could go well with chocolate. What do you think?
Whoa,
That
look
is
at
a
that.
very good call. Tell us about the muscadine wine, Colin.
Well, so I've got a muscadine vine. It's about 3 years old now, and made 2 gallons of wine last year, and then froze a bunch of other grapes. And we were cleaning out the freezer and said, well, we've got these 3 more bags of grapes in here. Let's go make some more wine. So just racked off into the carboys a bunch of the wine and had some left over. So this is the new wine, or Vina Must. Vina Mustum would be the Latin, and Must as they called it in Romania. So it's still pretty sweet, and maybe it got a little bit of fizz to it. And also, another one of my summer projects,
There's 2 of them.
or early summer projects, has been Socota, which is a Romanian drink I learned about while I was over there. It's elderflower, lemon, a little bit of honey, and basically just enough honey to get the yeast going to get it fizzy, but not super, it's not going to get you too lit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of want to try some. Do you want to try some, Kirk?
I think I'm going to pass because I'm heading home for dinner, and I hope to get there.
All right, you talk. I'm going to go try some.
All right, bring it on.
Well, everybody, many of you are listening to the show on WHUPFM.org, but you may be interested to know that the live music portion of the show is video streamed also. And you can find that at all your favorite video watching places. YouTube would be an excellent place. You can go on the Pass the Hat Facebook page. It's airing right now. So we have another half an hour of Colin Cutler here ahead of us with some more wonderful music and stories. And so get out there and watch the video. Bob has just apparently joined the video. And Bob, tell people one more time where the video stream can be seen, and then it's archived, so you can not just now, but look at all of our hundreds and hundreds of music videos that we've compiled over the last many years.
That's right. At Whoop Pass the Hat, at WHUP Pass the Hat on your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Facebook and Twitch keeps the streams for 2 weeks, so that's nice. You can watch it live. You can interact with folks watching the live stream, and then you can see last week's stream. But if you go over to YouTube, you can do that as well and see an archive going back several years of all of these live streams. So I was mentioning that at the top of the show, that we have this amazing archive, both on WHUPFM.org for sound, but also live stream videos on YouTube of live local and regional musicians coming in to Pass the Hat. It's an amazing archive. It's unprecedented in radio worldwide, I think.
And I'll give Bob a shout out that he initiated this during COVID time. All the clubs were closed and people had nowhere to go and see music or perform music. And Bob, I don't know if that was the reason, but that's when the video started. And,
Yes.
And it's now just a tremendous library of terrific music, hundreds and hundreds, as I said.
Yeah, I go back and watch older shows myself just because I want to experience that artist again. It's a wonderful archive, and I encourage you guys to go back and enjoy it. And speaking of enjoying, the elderberry,
Yeah.
it's subtle,
Yeah.
and this is a wonderfully refreshing summer drink. I can see this replacing iced tea in summertime.
Oh yes, and it's not much sugar to it either. Like I said, I use honey, and it ferments just enough, to sort of get it fizzy if you've got it under pressure too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I like it.
yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Absolutely.
And goes wonderful with chocolate.
Especially
Did we say that?
Matthew's chocolate.
Yeah. Matthew, you might have a future ahead of you in pairing spirits with chocolate.
I might have to start harvesting elderberries now, so I can provide Matthew with elderberries and elderflower for his chocolate.
There you go. Yeah, and I've made some elderberry jam as well as syrup. I prefer elderflower. They're both good, but
Yeah.
I like the elderflower quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your hands are full, but we really need some more music.
I can do some more music.
All right.
So, there we go. That's the right fret there. Yeah, so Kirk, you were asking earlier about what I've been up to the last couple of years, and took on a full-time job teaching at Guilford Tech Community College, teaching English over there. And I've also been touring a lot, and one of the really cool things about, especially this last year, has been just sort of getting to work with a lot of the, sort of people I've looked up to in the folk, community for years. Andy Cohen, Meredith Moon, Arthur Grimes up in Boone too, and and Hubby Jenkins recently too. We both were on the same festival down in South Carolina, and it's just sort of felt myself accepted as another folk musician, right? Which has been a really nice feeling, and I just love the community of it. And it's kind of why I wanted to do this next project here. And this is the one original on it. Doesn't quite have a title yet, but we'll see. And in the middle two verses, there are some lines that are sort of taken and then sort of turned in a slightly different direction from some other old folk tunes, which is one of the cool things about just the folk music tradition too. It's like, we've got these images that we're all sort of used to, but each time you can turn them in a slightly different angle. I have traveled around this whole world, but I ain't seen nothing that I ain't seen here before. Sold my soul for a penny, my voice for a dime. Body for $1, I'll take money for time. I knew a woman just as long as I am tall. The first time that I saw her, she broke me like a cannonball. Sold my soul for a penny, my voice for a dime. Body for $1, I'll take money for time. I've played in England, and I have played in Spain. I have played the streets of Asheville in the cold pouring rain. Sold my soul for a penny, my voice for a dime. Body for $1, I'll take money for time. Mm-hmm. I have traveled around this whole world, but I ain't seen nothing that I ain't seen here before. Sold my soul for a penny, my voice for a dime. Body for $1, I'll take money for time. Mm-hmm.
Colin Cutler, live here on Pass the Hat. Colin, we talked about your musical journey through piano and trumpet, guitar, electric guitar, banjo eventually. At what point did you pick up the harmonica?
Harmonica was a year after banjo, so I was 24. Yeah.
How did your journey of learning to play harmonica go? Was it easy or was it difficult?
See, so the nice thing is I have just enough music theory to know what a key is. Right. And
Congratulations.
Yes. And the nice thing about a harmonica is if you know what key the song's in and you have the right harmonica for that key, it's really, really, really hard to mess it up.
Good to know.
Yes. Now, there's a whole range between that and being good at it, much less being great at it. And I'm no Phil Wiggins. But yeah, that was pretty much how it went. And then Willie Watson was a big inspiration for me. I saw him a couple times live and, always liked his solo stuff outside of Old Crow. And just like listening to him and sort of trying to imitate some of the bends that he does and stuff taught me a lot. And then getting to see Phil Wiggins live at the North Carolina Folk Festival taught me a ton too. So, yeah.
That's one of the things with guitar players. You can stare at their fingers and try and kind of figure out what they're doing.
Right.
You can't see inside the harmonica player's mouth to know how they're making that come out of the harmonica.
Right.
It's magic.
It's magic.
It's magic, and that's one of the lovely things about the instrument too. It's like if you know what you're doing and know how to do it well, it's absolutely magic.
Yeah.
So, Colin, reverting back to this recording you have underway, just quickly, will this just be you playing guitar or different instruments, different tracks?
So most of them it'll be full band, but it'll be acoustic band, right? So sort of like the Hot Pepper Jam and Nelson County Wayside albums. And I've kind of realized kind of what I do. I did this completely unintentionally, but like I'll have an acoustic album of a couple originals and a bunch of traditionals, and then like my electric songwriter album, then another acoustic album. So we're right there on that cycle right now.
So the whole band plays live at once or different tracks?
We're not quite sure yet. Yeah, I would like to just like have the whole band live, but that just depends on who we can get in the studio at the same time. So, yep. We've got one recorded we've got the one with Deshaun recorded, and that I did the vocals and rail spike myself, and then he came in and did the steel guitar over it. So,
well, the good thing is with today's digital recording, Bob, if one of your players or multiple ones are in jail, they can come back,
That's right.
even if they're not in the live session, and add their track a little later when they're released.
that's right.
I must have missed something. Are we worried that one of them might be in jail?
I'm not particularly worried, but Kirk seems to be. Now, what do you know about my bandmates that I don't know, Kirk?
Kirk just knows musicians.
That's right.
Yeah, especially those bass players.
Oh, yeah, they're
Yes.
trouble.
You know.
Yes.
Trouble, absolutely. Do you have a working title for this new album?
Possibly Soul for a Penny or That's My Home, Baby, That's My Home. One of the two.
I like
Or
it.
just That's My Home. So, yeah.
All three work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we have talked a whole lot when we should have been hearing music, so we're just going to turn it back over to you and say, hey, play us some more music.
Cool. Well, speaking of That's My Home, how about Swannanoa Tunnel?
Perfect.
All right. So, my approach to this song, like I'd always heard it as a bluegrass song. And of course, Lunsford's version, which is sort of, back porch picking, sort of chill. And one day I was singing it to my niece, much quieter than I'm going to sing it today, and was rocking her back and forth and realized that the rhythm wasn't quite working with how I was used to hearing it with, rocking back and forth. And as I sort of modified it a bit to sing to her, I realized I started to suspect that it might be a Hammer song. And shortly thereafter, I was up in Asheville and looking up Swannanoa Tunnel to try to go, find it, and ran across this this article from the Bitter Southerner, where some Warren Wilson professors had written this whole history of the song and its different recordings and stuff, and it actually dug up an archive of William Love down in the Duke University archives, singing it almost exactly like I had it in my head. So, so I'm going to sing it about that way today.
Awesome.
And here it is. Swannanoa Tunnel. I'm going back to that Swannanoa Tunnel. That's my home, baby, that's my home. Asheville Junction, Swannanoa Tunnel. It's all caved in, baby, all caved in. Last December, I remember that wind blowed cold, baby, wind blowed cold. When you hear that guard dog barking, someone's run, baby, someone's run. When you hear that hoot owl scolding, someone's died, baby, someone's dead. This old hammer rings like silver, shines like gold, baby, shines like gold. This old hammer killed John Henry, but it didn't kill me, baby, couldn't kill me. Gonna take this hammer, throw it in the river, sings right on, baby, rings right on. I'm going back to that Swannanoa Tunnel. That's my home, baby, that's my home.
Nice. Colin Cutler, where can people find you online and buy stuff from you?
Cool. Well, at shows, obviously, is where you can buy stuff. But to find out where the shows are, ColinCutlerMusic.com. That's one L in Colin. And Colin Cutler Music also on Facebook and the Instagram. Mm-hmm. And my Bandcamp, which is ColinCutlerMusic.bandcamp.com. You can also order merch, too. So, yeah.
You know what today is?
What is today?
Bandcamp Friday.
It is Bandcamp Friday. So there you go.
Which means, for all you dear listeners out there, when you go out to Colin Cutler's music on Bandcamp and buy some of that music, 100% of the proceeds goes to Colin. So we like to support our local musicians. You guys should consider doing that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Colin, as Bob said, the clock is running down. So how about for the next 10 minutes, we just turn the show over to you. You play whatever you want, and we will try and hush.
Okay. And also, speaking of live shows, I will be playing at Nash Street Tavern next Tuesday, May 5th.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Nash Street Tavern, just right down the road from here.
Exactly, yep. So, if you're here in Hillsboro, feel free to come on out. If you're a little bit further afield, also feel free to come
out anyway.
That's right. Matter of fact, I had a show opening up for David Childers back in December at the Wake Forest Listening Room.
Uh-huh.
And there was one couple that flew all the way out from Oklahoma just to see us together.
How about that?
So, yeah, they're from North Carolina originally, but also she needed to get some collards. So it was to see us.
Totally worth the trip
to get some collards. Yeah. So.
Some people keep their harps in fancy little cases. Colin keeps his in a jug
as one should.
That's right.
or a mug. One of those things.
Yeah, a mug jug.
Well, now that I've switched to the right harmonica, this here's a song about getting into situations that you probably shouldn't be getting into.
Whew.
Getting back out of them in ways that you definitely shouldn't. And the Kraken or Nash Street Tavern both seem like great places for this song to fit. So this here's Save Your Life and Drive. about not screwing up on the harmonica. That reed's gone bad. I was hiking down the highway to Mobile, Alabama. Had one good arm and a 9-pound hammer. And I took a turn up a washed-out gravel road. Saw a little old lady just squatting like a toad on a porch swing. And her 30-something daughter, she rocked there beside her, just drooling out the side of her mouth. And I ain't a smart man, but I could see this whole thing was heading south right quick. Better save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. She looked me over like I was an old used car. Said there's work to be done if a working man's what you are. Said you can split me open, but you still won't know just what I am, ma'am. She said you might have one arm, but honey, I'm looking at you and, well, think you're a man. And out in that barn, I could see her car in a statement I couldn't deny. Figured, well, what's harm paying up an old barn and a couple chicken coops anyway? You better save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. Have you ever seen a mother try to sell her daughter? Said, look at her there, she's a pure drink of water. She was talking with the chickens and clawing in the dust. Said, a woman like that won't give you no fuss. I looked at the paint peeling from the roof and I said, well, ma'am, it might be a sin, but give me $100, I can get that old house painted, maybe get that car running again, if you know what I mean. Better save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. Bobby, get that back in tune. The wind day came on the first of the year. Got that house painted and that car out of second gear. Mama slipped me the money and she kissed her daughter goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. Stopped 5 miles away at a roadside diner. I ordered 2 turkeys on rye. But the boy behind the counter, he gaped at her. Said she looks just like an angel of God. Now I slipped out that door, said to my shoulder, tell him hi and I hope he ain't mad. Cause son, better save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. Well, 20 miles down that road I had dust in my eye. There was a dark cloud heavy as an iron anvil was hanging up in that sky. Saw a barefoot boy just walking there right beside the ditch. And I stopped, cranked up my window, yelled out, come on, boy, get in. Thank you, my, and your lucky stars. Said I stopped storm, coming ain't no place to hide. Said my ma's meanest witch that ever cut a switch. You better save your life and drive. Kept the FCC happy there. But I left that boy right beside of the road, because you don't talk about your mama that way. Better save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. Save your life and drive. Save your life and drive.
Colin Cutler live here on Pass the Hat. Colin, it's not your job to keep the FCC happy. That is my job and Kirk's job. You do what you need to do.
Well, I try to keep you all happy, too.
Thank you so much. But as Kirk said, let's just hear music.
Cool.
We've got time probably for one more, so take us out.
All righty. So, yeah, you were asking about where you can buy merch. Again, I'll be at Nash Street Tavern on Tuesday, May 5th. I believe it's 7 to 9:30, something like that. And one of the pieces of merch that you'll see there are jars of hot pepper jam. I'm going to go sing you that song. Should I tell you the whole story? I'm just going to play it. You'll hear the whole story on Tuesday, so come on out. So here's hot pepper jam. I've been working in this hot pepper field now, a Carolina summer long. So I've been working in this hot pepper field till my baby done come and gone. Well, hey, whoa, she was singing the hot pepper song. And the first time that I saw you, you were wearing a hot pepper suit. Yeah, the first time that I saw you, you were looking hot pepper cute. That line's about Kirk. Well, hey, whoa, would you look at our hot pepper fruit? Stir up that jelly pot, mama, till it's sticky as highway tar. Stir up that jelly pot, mama, till it's fiery as you are. Well, hey, whoa, gonna can that pepper in the jar and spread it on your biscuits, mama. Go on and spread that pepper jam. Spread it on your biscuits, mama, with a little bit of country ham. Well, hey, whoa, they call me Hot Pepper Man.
Colin Cutler live here on Pass the Hat. Learn more at ColinCutlerMusic.com. Catch Colin at Nash Street Tavern next Tuesday at 7:30, playing 7:30 to 9-ish, or whenever they kick him off the stage, which might not be till midnight. It's going to be a fun time, man. That hot pepper is good stuff. I had some. I had 2 jars a couple years ago. Fantastic stuff.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks a lot for having me back on, too.
It has been our pleasure, and y'all, dear viewers on the live stream, we are coming to the time of the live stream where we're going to end it, but that doesn't mean the show ends. So what you need to do to hear the rest of the show, which is going to be some music that Colin brought into us for us on a playlist. He didn't actually bring the playlist. He sent a list of songs. I had to make the playlist. Some people just don't follow directions. Anyway, go over to WHUPFM.org, click the Listen Live button, or find us on the TuneIn app. Find WHUP on the TuneIn app or WHUP on Radio Garden, or various other of those services that help you find live local music. But TuneIn and Radio Garden are 2 of our favorites, but you can find us all over the place. But the live stream is going to end momentarily, and Colin, wave goodbye.
Farewell.